Welcome back, everyone. Pretty good chance someone close to you is affected in some way by a loved one living with memory loss. That's why the Alzheimer's Association continues its mission, part of which is to raise money in the battle to find a cure one day for dementia-related disorders. Here to talk about that and the fundraising efforts to walk to end Alzheimer's. Coming up before you know it, we have Dr. Isaac Schieffer, a researcher at the University of Toledo. Doctor, thanks for coming in.
Yep,
and Cheryl Conley joins us, Program and Services Director over at the Alzheimer's Association, just down the road over here on Reynolds Road. Thanks to both of you for coming in today. As I said, we all have someone near and dear to us who's affected in some way by Alzheimer's, dementia, this dementia umbrella, right, Cheryl?
We absolutely do.
Yeah. So tell us about, first of all, the walk coming up, and a little bit about how it benefits what you all do over here on Reynolds Road and throughout Northwest Ohio.
So our walk coming up is at University of Toledo campus, and it's October 14th. And people can always sign up just by going to the website or sign up on the day of. It's a free registration, and the money benefits us because so many of our services are free. And we think of the physician as the one who does the diagnosing and assessing, but once you have a diagnosis, we help you live with it.
In terms of support, people who support families, right? I mean,
families
who deal with this.
Families who deal with it.
Yeah.
So we get calls all day long, 24-hour helpline, things like, when do you know it's time to stop driving? Or I just got diagnosed. What do I need to know for my future? Or bathing is a big issue for a lot of people. Or just how to talk to somebody. Interesting.
I think the driving thing really hits close to home for those of us who have our parents, the generation where that dilemma comes up. It is very difficult to take the keys away from mom or dad.
It causes a lot of passion on both sides. I will say most people just give it up on their own, but when you don't, it's an emotional issue for both sides.
Oh, no question. And the money, you're obviously raising money here to support the Alzheimer's Association locally, but it goes in part, that's where Dr. Schieffer comes in. So he can go into the lab, and he and his colleagues, and one day find treatment and cure, correct?
We'd like to see the end of Alzheimer's and dementia.
Yeah, hence the walk, the walk to end Alzheimer's. And Dr. Schieffer, tell us about the grant that you've received to help in research here.
So thanks a lot for having us on. I really appreciate it. So I'm an assistant professor in the College of Pharmacy at the University of Toledo, and I run a drug discovery group, and we try and develop novel therapies for neurodegeneration with an emphasis on Alzheimer's disease. So when I arrived at UT in 2013, we discovered a new molecule that improves memory in mice. And this was noteworthy because this molecule belonged to a class that had never been studied in the brain before, and the brain's particularly hard to develop drugs for because it restricts what chemicals can get into it using a blood-brain barrier, a semi-permeable membrane.
Oh, I'm going to science class here.
Sorry, I'm not going to get too. I'm not going to get too technical. But basically, since it's hard to get molecules into the brain, the discovery of a new class that could improve memory in mice was a very exciting finding. And subsequent to that, Alzheimer's Association awarded me a new investigator research grant for $100,000 to basically see how much of our drug gets into the brain, how it's affecting the brain, how it's working, and to see if we can make it orally bioavailable, and we can put it in pill form because it's very important for patient therapy adherence.
Let me ask you this, Dr. Schieffer, from stem to stern, you do your work in the lab in mice. How long before eventually something like that, it goes through the process, the FDA approval, and one day maybe is making an impact on our loved ones here?
Yes.
A difficult question? I mean,
well, no, it can be, I can give you a simple answer or a lengthy one. I'll stick to the simple one. So a way to consider the Alzheimer's Association grant I got is as bridge funding. In that it enables my lab to gather additional preliminary data to incorporate into a large drug discovery proposal that hopefully will get picked up and funded by NIH, National Institutes of Health. That type of proposal would be a 3 to 5 year project to really do all the proper due diligence prior to trying to get into people. So as the earliest you could enter a phase 1 trial would probably be 4 years down the road from where I'm at. You have to remember, patent life on drugs is 18 years. So it's very important it's why Alzheimer's Association, I'm very grateful for the money that they gave, because once we made the first discovery, all of a sudden your clock is ticking as far as how much time you have to get it developed, to make it so that it would still be viable for a company to pick up and make their money back on.
It does feel like it's a race against time. But for everybody, you know, for as long as we're here, you know, we'd like to see progress made. And quickly, are the drugs that are on the market, are they effective? Can they be effective?
It depends on what we call effective.
Okay.
So they certainly don't cure, but they might have some effect on symptoms and things like that.
Slow the advancement, perhaps?
Perhaps slow isn't exactly the word, but
Okay.
it can have some symptoms.
Okay.
But we need something that actually works. And so the chapters all work together to fund research. So it's not like the Northwest Ohio had $100,000 to give to Dr. Schieffer,
Yeah.
but all the chapters working together are funding this kind of research.
Okay, and that's where this walk comes in, folks.
That's where this walk
right?
comes in.
So if you can find a place in your schedule, in your heart, in your wallet too, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to come to the walk. You can just donate.
Absolutely. They'll take your money. There's no question about that. And Dr. Schieffer, the honorary walk chair, as part of this effort. University of Toledo, you don't have to go too far, right, Dr. Schieffer?
That's right.
Centennial Mall, the Student Union area. Meet there October 14th, 9 o'clock registration, 10 o'clock the ceremony and walk. Contact Lori there. She's got it going on as the contact person over the Alzheimer's Association. Thanks for coming in. Cheryl
Thanks.
Conley and Dr. Isaac Schieffer.
Very good, thank you.
Thanks very much. See you at the walk, October 14th. And we're back on Conklin & Company.